Hello everybody. We're starting our live session now. Let's start promptly because I'll go to work. I want to spend enough time. I want to answer all the questions. I'm starting. I hope everybody's intermittent fasting is going very well this week. I hope you were able to reduce your eating window to at least 8 hours. Hope you're doing 16 to 8 this week. I already started seeing results. People are telling me they are doing very well without any problem, no headaches, no dizziness. They are saying they already lost, someone lost 2 kilos, someone lost, multiple people lost already 1 kilo. So hopefully things are going to be great. Okay, so yeah, please write to me if you're having any difficulty, if you didn't even lose 1 kilo tomorrow, 2 pounds, if you haven't lost by tomorrow. I want everybody to check tomorrow. You don't have to report it to me. I want it at the end of the second week, but if you already measured and if you want to discuss with me, you can. But if you did not lose even 1 kilo, I want to know that, okay? We need to look into the reason why you're not losing, because before it's too late, I want to nail that down. So let's answer some of the questions. There was a question about if we have leg cramps, what should we do during the fasting? So if you have leg cramps, it means that you have electrolyte deficiency. At the beginning, these kind of problems may happen. I think I told you before, it happened to me only once when I was new to fasting. So I put like one sprinkle of salt to my green tea and just like solved the problem, and I never had the problem again. So once you get experience and your body gets used to the fasting, then this won't be a problem. But sometimes leg cramps happen after eating too. So all day long, your kidneys, your body balances your electrolytes so well, and suddenly if you eat a salty meal, sudden gush of electrolytes unfortunately may cause this kind of electrolyte disturbances, and you may develop leg cramps. That's why, to be able to prevent that, maybe you start your meal with a large salad, get those electrolytes trace little by little from that big salad, and prime yourself for that big meal, that, salty, with all those electrolytes. So prime yourself first with a salad. So that will take care of that after meal cramps. Okay, so someone was asking, can we exercise when we're fasting? So if you are just like walking, it shouldn't be a problem. But if you are starting a new exercise program, do it on your eating window, after your meals or something, or before a little bit snack. But do not start a new exercise program while you're doing this program, intermittent fasting program. So even if you're doing, just do it in your eating window. So, but we do want you to exercise anyway. We can't just sit around and just, do intermittent fasting. Otherwise, we want the muscle mass continuation, okay? Yes, you can. If you go for a walk, that would be great. It's gonna be great passing the time, and then especially if you went with a friend, your cortisol level is gonna go down, with the nature and everything. So your fasting will be easier if you go for a walk. Okay, some people were asking, do we lose muscle mass as well as fat? So we don't. In intermittent fasting, no. We do, if we do calorie restriction for weight loss, yes, because when you're restricting your calories, you're not feeding your muscles well. You're not feeding your metabolism well, because you're always staying under 1,200 calories, so which is very very unnatural for our body. So your body gets used to this small amount of calories, reduces the metabolism rate, and then you can't do this forever. And then when you start eating normal calories, boom, like you're gonna gain weight again. So that's why just opposite, intermittent fasting is the great way to keep your metabolism rate, because we're not restricting calories. We have fasting window, yes, but in our eating window, we're not restricting anything. We're just like eating normal. So we're doing fast and feast. In that feasting window, your metabolism rate is gonna go back up. Okay, so yeah, if you don't want to reduce your metabolism rate, don't do calorie restriction, do intermittent fasting. Okay, so your muscle size may be smaller in your fasting window, because your muscles are going to lose water a little bit, glycogen a little bit. That's why it may get smaller. But as soon as you feast, as soon as you start eating, it's going to go back to your to the normal volume. Okay, so we want you to exercise while you're fasting also, to keep the muscle mass. Okay, some people are asking, how do we deal with the fatigue during fasting? So fatigue happens at the beginning, like when you're trying to get used to intermittent fasting. It's like Ramadan. People who do Ramadan fasting, they know the first days are harder, and then they get used to it and they get their energy back. So it could be that. But especially if you're doing 16/8 and you're eating early time restricted, so let's say you're stopping at 4 p.m. in the evening, and of course you need to go to bed early too. If you are a night owl, for example, you go to bed late, of course you're going to get hungry. If you finished eating at 4 p.m., until midnight, it's like 8 hours that the digestion is done. You're gonna start feeling hungry again. Your stomach is gonna start growling. So people who eat early time restricted also need to go to bed early. Okay, lifestyle is important here. Okay. Yes, some people asked if my metabolism rate would go down. We said no. And plateau. If your weight loss plateaued, for example, let's say you were losing a little bit, nice, you were happy about it, and then suddenly your weight loss stopped. So that's when we start doing some changes in our intermittent fasting. To be able to put in a routine, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we're going to deepen our fast. We're going to shock the body a little bit. I don't want it every day. 3 days a week is enough. If you're deepening to, let's say, 20 to 4 or 23, you're doing like 1 meal a day to deepen the fast. The other days, I want you to relax the fasting window a little bit. If you're doing, let's say, 1 meal a day on those 3 days, I want you to do Tuesday, Thursday, and weekends, maybe 14 to 10. Okay, so do a little bit like more relaxed on the other days if you're deepening your fast 3 days a week. Okay, because we don't want to be nutrition deficient, and we still want that shock for your body. Okay, there were some people who wanted to do 1 meal a day. It's the same thing. If you want to do 1 meal a day, those 3 days you should do. Because 1 meal a day, it can be done. My husband has been doing this like 10 years. It can be done. But that 1 meal, especially for ladies, it needs to be very well planned, very well balanced. Because if you're eating just 1 meal, you need to make sure it has enough fiber, vitamins, it has enough protein, it has good omega-3 acids. So we need to make sure, if you're planning it very well, especially for ladies, thyroid is a very fussy organ. It affects the ladies more. So please do not make thyroid, imbalance, hormones imbalance. So that's why if you're doing it like 3 days a week, maybe it's enough, and make the other ones, as I told you, maybe 14 to 10. Okay, one person said that she's doing 20 to 4. It's okay, 20 hours fasting, 4-hour eating window. So that's okay, but it's hard to squeeze in 2 meals in 20 to 4. 19 to 5 is fine. If you're doing, let's say, 12 noon and 4 p.m., starting at 4 p.m., it goes to, like, let's say, until 5 p.m. So that's good. 19 to 5 is ideal if you're doing 2 meals like that. So, and if you want to shrink as much as possible, that's the 19 to 5. You can do 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 hours from each other, but, lasted altogether 5 hours. So 19-hour fasting. Okay, so that sounds good. But if you want to do again in like 3 days a week like that, that's fine too. Okay, there was another question about someone had started having dizziness after 8 p.m. eating. So, eating after 8 p.m. is not a good idea anyway. Either you do intermittent fasting or not, okay? We're not supposed to eat after 8 p.m., especially big meals. So, and she says she started doing calorie counting, diet too. Remember, I told this, we can't do diet and fasting at the same time. That's unsafe, okay? So, if you're doing intermittent fasting, no dieting. This is not time to diet. That's why we're doing intermittent fasting, because we don't want to diet, right? You can't diet forever. So this person is saying that all day she didn't eat very well. She restricted her calories and also restricted the time window, eating window. And then no surprise that she had dizziness. So please, no doing this both of them at the same time, okay? So maybe that's another project, another program. Just don't do it together with fasting, okay? But during the day, if you started having dizziness, as I told you, just 1 sprinkle of salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan salt with good minerals. So you can put in your salt in your water or green tea during the day if you had fasting at the beginning of the fasting until you get used to it. It's possible. So just do that. Okay, someone says her iron levels are low. She was on iron tablets. Can she continue? Yes, of course. In your eating window with your meals, you can take your iron tablets. So in women, usually these iron deficiencies, right, because of the heavy periods, right? So why do we have heavy periods? Why do some women bleed a lot during their periods and it makes them anemic with these heavy periods? It's because of usually uterine fibroids, right? So the intermittent fasting is a cure for fibroids too. Like I told you, if your body cannot find food, what is it gonna eat? It's gonna go and eat those harmful substances. That fibroid is food, okay? You see how intermittent fasting is going to help to prevent anemia too in ladies, okay? It's just like amazing. Human body is amazing. Okay, so someone said, if I have high blood pressure, how I'm going to manage this during this intermittent fasting program? So, as I told you before, if you have a high blood pressure problem and you are on medication, you have to check your blood pressure frequently, because intermittent fasting is the most potent thing out there to regulate the blood pressure. And on top of it, you're taking blood pressure medication, it's going to be too low. It's going to be dangerous. That's why I want you to be on board with your doctor, because that blood pressure medication needs to be reduced. The dose needs to be reduced, and finally it needs to be discontinued. Okay, so do it with your doctor. If you need help, you can write to me too if you cannot reach your doctor. But medication and intermittent fasting together is dangerous if you are on blood pressure medication. Okay, so keep checking. So someone said there were some questions about thyroid too, but that's another subject. As I told you, with the thyroid hormone balance for the ladies, we're not doing calorie restriction, so we can talk more about that in maybe other live sessions. But I'm going to talk about liver right now, because someone wrote to me, oh, I have a fatty liver, is it safe for me to fast? Is it not safe? So there is no treatment for fatty liver other than intermittent fasting. Okay, there is no medicine for that. You can take a pill to get rid of the liver fat. Just the opposite. Just the opposite. We stop the medications. If someone's liver is fatty, so stressed out, they cannot take medications, because all the medications get processed in the liver. All the medications we take by mouth, they go through the liver. So if liver is stressed out, you can't give medications. We just stop all these metformins, cholesterol medications, you know, if it's like a really bad fatty liver. So I can talk more about fatty liver disease in my future live sessions, but I'll mention here a little bit. So the treatment for fatty liver is fasting, unless you want to change to the raw vegan diet or something. Eat everything raw, eat organic, detox your liver, unless you want to do like that. Okay, so, and also there are two types of fatty liver disease, like one alcoholic, the other one obesity related. So yeah, it's we don't even need to mention that if you have alcoholic liver disease, you just need to stop drinking alcohol, right? But the other one is obesity related. So as I told you, when no food is coming in to the body, what is it gonna do? It's gonna start eating up the most dangerous fat, which is visceral fat, organ fats. There are fats in your entrance of pancreas, in your gallbladder area, in that choledoc canal that is inside your liver. So your body is going to eat up those fat first, because it knows that's the one that has to go first. It's dangerous. So your body is amazing. So the treatment is intermittent fasting. So not everybody knows if they have fatty liver. So this person got it checked. Probably liver enzymes were high in the blood, or they did an ultrasound, abdominal ultrasound for something, and they found that fatty liver. So this person was able to find, but not everybody knows this, because it's a silent disease. It doesn't give any symptoms until it's too late. So, but how are we gonna know? That's why I got you guys check your waist size, not only weight, because the waist size is telling you if it is more than 80 centimeter for women, more than 94 centimeters for men. That means that you have some fat accumulation in your internal organs, and liver is one of those, right? So obesity is the reason for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So if your waist size, and almost all of you had the waist size above normal, it means that your liver started getting fatty. So it started getting stressed out. So we need intermittent fasting more than ever. Half of the populations in almost everywhere in the world, they have fatty liver disease. Okay, so you could be one of those 50%, okay? If your waist size is more than normal, okay? So you can consider yourself, you have fatty liver disease. So this intermittent fasting program you're doing is the best thing you're doing for yourself, okay? To melt that fatty liver. Okay, so as I told you, like people with metabolic conditions, they may be skinny. We call them skinny fat. Their arms, legs are skinny, but they have this large abdominal fat, right? So those people may still have fatty liver disease, even though they are skinny, even though they are normal weight. So we can't just say that, oh, she's skinny, how come, like she has diabetes, how come she has insulin resistance, cholesterol, high blood pressure, how come fatty liver disease? That's because that person is metabolically not healthy, okay? So that's why I'm not just checking your weight, I'm also checking your waist size, okay? I want to measure your waist. Okay, so if you're curious, you can always go get your, abdominal ultrasound to see if you have fatty liver, or, you can get your liver enzyme, ALT and AST, if you want to see if you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, starting. So you can do that, but with the waist measurements, that tells you a lot. Okay, so, but I told you, we're not going to lose hope. Liver is such a forgiving organ. You give one, it gives you 1,000, okay? So rewarding. Even if you have only 25% liver function, only 25% is healthy tissue, the other is all marbled really bad, even then it can recover from it. It can recover from its ashes, okay? So liver is an amazing organ. Let's help our liver, okay? So the best fasting for liver fat is fasting that's more than 20 hours. So that's why, even if you don't do every day, I don't recommend every day, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you can do like close to 20-hour fasting, just only 4 or 5 hour eating window, that's gonna take care of it, okay? So that's why let's do this regular. On the days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you're doing this for fatty liver, reduce your eating window to 4 to 5 hours. The other days, you can increase a little bit if you want 14 to 10, okay? So, but we need to deepen our fast, not only for weight loss, for melting the liver fat as well, especially if you have a condition that you know. Okay, so, and to prevent future fatty liver, also we need to change our diet, okay? So we did this 3-month fasting challenge, let's say, and then you melted the liver fat, nice, beautiful baby liver you have, and then what are you gonna do? You don't wanna go back to what you've been eating before, right? You don't wanna make it fatty again, so continue eating healthy, stop soda, stop sugar beverages, fructose, really bad. Saturated fat, that makes you gain fat, that's why, accumulates fat in your internal organs, in your liver. So even after this program, you're going to eat healthy to prevent future fatty liver, okay? So, and then you're going to start all the trans fats, fried food, okay? Any pastries, anything that you cannot make in your kitchen, don't eat it, don't drink it, okay? So omega-3s, right? Because remember, omega-3 is a anti-inflammatory pathway. How are we going to get the omega-3? The cleanest way of getting omega-3 is flaxseed. Chia seed is okay too, but mainly flaxseed, okay? Have your flaxseed daily. And cruciferous vegetables. They are gonna take care of your fatty liver. It's gonna help you, okay? So, cruciferous vegetables, what are those? Broccoli, kale, chard, collard greens, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. But the best one is radishes, okay? So try to eat a lot of radish. Like the bitter is the better, okay? And a lot of water, okay? So if you wanna do, okay, time is approaching right now. I have to finish soon. So if you wanna know about liver fat, melting the liver fat, detoxing our liver and gallbladder, I can do another session about that, okay? It could be just dedicated to only liver health. We can do that because detoxing your liver, making your liver pure, getting rid of all the harmful stuff, makes you 10 years younger, okay? Please do not underestimate the liver health. Okay, so write your questions to me. I hope everybody nailed it. Tomorrow it will be 1 week. As I told you, even if you don't report to me, that's fine. Know your numbers. I want your numbers. I have 30 people in my list. I want your numbers next week, next Monday, okay? But tomorrow, if you did not lose even 1 kilo, you need to let me know. Because we don't want to waste these 4 weeks, okay? This is a, like very important 4 weeks. So I want to make sure at least you lost 1 kilo. If you did not, we need to dig deep and see why you're not losing. Okay? So one-on-one, we're going to talk. We're going to write to each other. So yeah, you're going to let me know. You can write your waistline or kilo if you want to me, but this week is not necessary. And make sure you're eating healthy in your eating windows, no processed food, okay? And you can write to me also what kind of fasting you're doing right now. Is it going according to the plan? Were you able to switch to deeper fasting, some like 3 days a week? So we're going to talk about that, okay? So anything else? I have 30 people I said. If I don't hear from you next week, I will ask everybody to tell me what's going on, okay? Okay, write your questions. I will answer them. I'm going to work right now, so I will answer as soon as possible. Eat healthy, and let me know if you're having any difficulties, dizzinesses, why you cannot improve or increase your fasting window and reduce your eating window. So I want to know about those. So I'm logging off right now. I'll see you next week, and we will keep in touch during the week, okay? So do not hesitate. Keep writing to me, okay? Talk to you next week then. Bye.